Hi everyone. Multiple people were having problems with Zoom, so I just wanted to run through today's class for those of you guys who could not get in. I'm just going to go over the overview for the week, some class adjustments, and then we're getting into, so we're going to assess some of our data that we have already collected and do it that way. So let me pop over, let's do it out of order. Let's do class adjustments first. One thing I've noticed is that we have a certain number of people that show up on a fairly regular basis, and then some that don't. And then within those, we have subsets of people who are all caught up and on track, and some people who need to catch up a little bit. So what I want to do is to hopefully engage in class a little bit more, is to do two things. One is our warm-ups will be mandatory now instead of just participatory. And when you come into the class, please pop your video on, say hi, and complete that warm-up, which will normally be in the chat box. And during class, we'll also have quick poll questions that are like participation checks. So if you are there, you'll have like a limited amount of time to hit it. We're not looking for right or wrong. I'm just looking to like keep you busy with the class and keep you focused on that. So I'm hoping if those two things plus the analysis we're going to do today, I think that's going to get everybody where they need to be. So we'll take a look and see how that works, and we'll be fine from there. So our weekly overview. Let's come in. You can come find your module, and you will see that right now in the learning path there are two things. We're going to jump into the second one for Monday as well. But in our overview, you can see we are working on two key standards. One of them that we had last week, the text structures, RL5, RI5, and then we're also building on that with standard number 2, which is main idea and theme. And in particular, we're going to be working with summarizing this week. And so those, they go really well together. And I think it's going to enhance our skill set in both of those standards by working with them together. So at the end, what we should be able to do is to use these new summarization techniques to help us support a central idea or theme of a text in a short response. So that's what we're aiming for at the end. We're going to do, we're still look at structure quite a bit, but use these new sort of organizational tools and tips to summarize pieces and get the big ideas out of them. So Monday we're doing analysis, right? No new skills today. Tuesday we're going to look at summaries of literature and short fiction. We're going to work with Loser, kind of piggyback off that and do some new stuff. Wednesday is all about informational text. So looking at what is the difference in structure and in where the big ideas are between a story and a piece of informational text. And then Thursday, you're going to practice with your choice, depending on where you think you need some help or like a little bit of extra time with, or getting straight to the performance piece on that. So depending on what you need. And that's what we're doing. We're adding the summarizing tools and building off of the structures that we worked on last week. And so still kind of dealing with a little bit of that as well. And that's what we're doing. So today we're doing analysis. And so what that looks like in here is this data analysis task. You are going to need a couple of things. You are going to need your HMH growth measurement. So if you have not completed the HMH Ed growth measurement in the online textbook, then you have to do that first before you do the data analysis, because that's what the first two questions are about. So if you need to do that, you remember from NC Ed Cloud home base, you're going to HMH Ed, and in your dashboard will be either resume or start the growth measurement assessment. Do that first, then come back and do this data analysis. Okay. The other things you'll need from the data analysis. So at that point, you'll have your growth measurement score. There's an English standards preview doc that we did 2 weeks ago where you guys rated yourself on the standards. So make sure you get that. There is in that data analysis assignment, there is a link for it. So if you don't have a copy, once you get into that assignment, you can click the link. Okay. And then the other thing is PowerSchool and Canvas Grades Access. So make sure you know how to go into both. I can't really show you the PowerSchool version because it has live people's grades in it. I don't want to share those out. But there are some things you can only see in one versus the other. And so what I want you to do is take some time looking at both. And the questions are related to what can I see, what can't I see, looking at your overall average versus your assignment scores and how you can see them in different places. So you'll need those three things, right? Your growth measurement score from the HMH Ed. You'll need that standards document, which you should have it saved already. If you don't have it saved already, there will be a link in the assignment for it. And then you'll have to understand and travel out to PowerSchool and to the Canvas grades page to look at those, to answer those questions. So you're going to be looking at all these pieces of data, asking, doing some basic observation. This is what I see. And then setting a short goal for yourself. And that goal might be for English, or it might be for another class, depending on what you need. Okay. If you have work for English, and if it's still backed up, I suggest you do it for English. But if not, that's okay too. So in the data analysis quiz, one thing I wanted to point out is this question right here. Question number 2. What is your current scale score and Lexile level? It's actually 0 points. It's not worth a point, because if you cannot find it, then you can just leave it blank and I will give you your score in the feedback. But if you can find your scale score and Lexile level, just enter it in here. It's actually not counting against you as points. Okay. And just take a look at this. Let me know if you've got any questions, if you need any help with anything, and hopefully we'll get all those Zoom things fixed, and we'll be back in class tomorrow. And when you come back in class tomorrow, don't forget to pop on your video, say hi, and definitely do the warm-up at the beginning of class. If you guys need anything, just reach out.